ask you about leaks to not inflame the anger of our friends in the media who think Republicans are hyper-focused on it, so we'll just do it last. Some of your colleagues have testified that our surveillance programs are critical, vital, indispensable to our national security. Do you agree with their assessment?
Speaking generally.
Here's the biggie. CIA needs those billions of fucking dollars to continue their spying programs on not only Americans, foreign agents, but each other, because they use it as fucking leverage against anyone running for a seat, whether it be Congress, Senate, President, or local offices. If we killed the 702 program, we would save fucking billions, and these guys would have to start all over again. I say, fucking kill it.
Yes, some of those programs are absolutely essential and vital for national security.
Do you agree that there is at least a tacit agreement between the American people and their government that they will allow us certain power, certain freedoms in exchange for safeguarding the privacy of the information collected?
We should never give up our freedom for fucking nobody. Not our government, not our local, not our state, not our federal. You want a warrant, you go to a court, you show justable cause for that warrant. Otherwise, we just gave away our freedom in the face of, or in the false reality of protecting our freedoms.
I think there is certainly an expectation that there would be a protection of privacy as the government carries out its responsibilities, yes.
And you and I...
It's called the Fourth fucking Amendment, you dickhead. And I will never give mine up. And I know about 60 million Americans that will tell you to go fuck yourselves. You want in my house? You want on my property? You get a goddamn warrant through a fucking judge with justable cause, or you go fuck yourself.
I discussed some of those privacy protections even within the intelligence community as it relates to U.S. persons, and you've been very clear this morning. In fact, I've noted the times you've said U.S. persons. You could have inserted a name, but you did not. You had the discipline to say U.S. person. And that discipline is practiced throughout the intelligence community unless and until there is a request to unmask that U.S. person's name, correct?
I would like to think that discipline is still exercised even if a request to unmask a name is made.
What a fucking suck-ass.
All right, so we protect U.S. persons even within those like yourself and Director Pompeo and Admiral Rogers and Director Comey.
There's
and
another
the
one.
People that we trust.
There's another one.
With awesome powers, we still impose some.
There's another one. I have a couple of problems with Trump. He put fucking Pompeo in charge of the CIA. That fucking leaky bucket motherfucker. I wouldn't put him in charge of my local dog catcher. Where's he at? He hasn't said shit. Hasn't stood up for shit. He's up there feeling his fucking oats. And there are photographs where he is right there with the very fucking swamp creatures we're trying to eliminate.
Restrictions on them, and that they have to request an unmasking. There has to be, I assume, a justification. You can't just wake up in the morning and say, hey, I feel like knowing who participated in X, Y, and Z. There has to be justification, right?
Yes.
All right. So how do we get from that to names being on the front pages of certain major U.S. newspapers?
It's an excellent question.
What would be an...
I don't know. That's an excellent question. But I don't know how they got there, even though it came through my 3 intel agencies. It didn't come out of the White House, motherfucker. It came out of you.
Equally excellent answer.
That somebody violated their oath to protect classified information.
Somebody? Maybe you? Maybe Comey? Maybe Yates? Maybe, what's her fucking name? Valerie Jarrett? Maybe Susan Rice? Maybe, Dick fuck Obama himself? Maybe Clapper? Maybe all of you fuckers. Because you guys already decided this shit. You knew Hillary was losing her ass. You knew it back in October. And this is your creation of why Hillary lost. Let's blame someone else. Let's blame the Russians. When it was Seth of the DNC who leaked the DNC records. But we're not going to talk about what is in the contents of those records. Now, are we?
And violated that oath and shared that information in an unauthorized fashion with members of the media.
Right.
Well, my friend from Washington, and he is my friend, I was impressed not only with his eloquence, but the conviction with which he just spoke. But I've got other colleagues, not from Washington, that tend to minimize the nature of leaks as if there is somehow a weighing and a balancing that needs to take place between how interesting we may find the underlying information, how interesting we may find the underlying names. I have seen attempts, unfortunately, by members of this very body to mitigate and explain away and minimize what it does to the surveillance programs to have leaks of classified information.
Do not support any more money to fucking Intel. These guys have lost their shit. They're using old equipment, old computers. What kind of IT guys are going to work for the government when there's more money in the private sector?
Information. So I will finish with this. I believe there's some surveillance programs that are up for reauthorization.
Yes.
What would you say to the American people as names are unmasked on the last day that people are in office and classified information appears on the front pages of major U.S. newspapers? How would you tell your constituents, let's reauthorize this program again despite the fact that we have abuses? How help us make that argument when we go home?
He don't give a shit. He's out of there. Motherfuckers have used it, abused it, made his fucking millions, sucked his fucking nigger's dick ass, put Trump up on a sacrificial lamb deal, let Hillary rock on 30 fucking years of corruption, and we're gonna listen to this prick? Let's hear what he has to say.
Mr. Gowdy, you and your colleagues here are going to have to make that argument based on the merits of the program and the importance of it.
I don't want to own it. I don't care about it. I got my fucking retirement. I quit on the very day that Trump took office because I knew my shit's gonna be exposed. And here I am today, lying my fucking ass off to protect nigger ears and Hillary and Comey and Mike Rogers, Admiral Mike Rogers, and James Clapper. So you guys can either like it, lump it, or fucking hang us out. Well, I vote we cut your fucking heads off like Sharia law and put your heads on posts outside the White House. Since you love these fucking Israelis and Muslim motherfuckers so much.
For national security, as well as trying to send a reassuring message to them that if there have been any abuses of the accesses to that information, either because of the number of people involved or those who were, in fact, violating their oath of...
This is the part where you go, blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah.
Office that you and your colleagues will do everything possible to make sure you work with the executive branch
blah,
to
blah.
Minimize and mitigate
blah, blah, blah.
that danger.
Not my monkey, not my circus. I had it for 8 years, but now I'm innocent because I left the minute Hillary lost.
In that prospect.
Jim Savage.